Good morning, guys. Erica here from Highway 49 RC. Behind me here we have my 1994 F250 with a 7.3 liter IDI turbo diesel in it. If you guys didn't see the engine swap series, make sure you go watch that. I'll put a card up in the corner. That was a pretty epic series, and since then it has been about 2 months, I think, since I finished the engine swap. For you guys, it's been a couple weeks since you guys saw the last episode, and I have done a ton of work to this thing. I've been in and out of it constantly. Every weekend I've been working on it. So I wanted to give you guys a little update on some of the work that I've been up to. So starting off, we've got a clean air filter cover. I made a mount for the intake pipe. I threw a new fan clutch on it down there because I had some concerns about the transmission temperatures. Put a shorter belt on it because the tensioner down there was actually maxing out and not putting enough tension on the belt, so it was squeaking a bunch. Put a new aluminum radiator in it. This is a 4-core radiator because the other one was leaking. I went through and redid all the O-rings on my injector return caps. So these little guys down in there, I went through, redid the O-rings on those because I was having some issues with them leaking. This one in particular I had a T on. I ended up switching the routing and putting just a T fitting up here and running it across to the other side right there. Did both sides. Seems like the other side is staying dry, which is good. Oh, I'm falling. And then actually I took this thing for a little joyride one night, and the return line all the way back here, this guy, broke on me because I twisted this bracket earlier in the day and the line broke. Didn't know about it, and I left a mile-long trail of diesel fuel, and I didn't know that it was leaking until I came up to a stoplight and I was just smoking diesel fuel. So, you know, that's how it goes. Yeah, my dad had to come with tools and parts. So that was a fun little adventure. I think that's pretty much everything for under the hood. Now, I got some keys for it, so I have spare keys, which is great. I fixed the lock on the toolbox. I put a new lock on both sides, so that is good to go. I spent some time on the tailgate. I took these lower louvers off and re-welded them on, added some support in there, and some better supports, and this lower piece of square pipe. And then I also added some diamond plate on the back, so you can actually sit down comfortably and put your beer down. Always a very important thing, being able to put your beer down when you're out on the road. Now, I did spend a decent amount of time adjusting the fuel delivery on this truck and the timing. Yeah, you can actually adjust the timing on these, and because it's all mechanical, you actually rotate the injection pump, kind of like the way you would rotate a distributor on a gas car to change the timing. You rotate the injection pump on a diesel, or at least on an old mechanical diesel like this one. I increased my fuel delivery. Well, I had it tuned down from when I got it, just to be safe. And then I slowly cranked it back up a little bit. She's got really good power, doesn't smoke. If you stab the throttle, it's a light puff. It's not rolling coal black, which is good. That's kind of right where you want it, right in the sweet spot. And then the timing, it's kind of complicated. I can do a whole video on timing these things if you guys want. If you find that interesting, I got an old Snap-on timing meter. It's actually really cool. I freaking love using that tool. Inside the cab, I added some sweet gauges, and they all light up, and I made a nice little enclosure for them. This is a switch for bright and dark, so I can have them brighter during the day, dimmer at night. I've got oil pressure, so I actually have something that's not just freaking low and high, and that gauge is actually super shoddy. Like if I bang on the dash, it'll move around. So it's not a good representation of what my actual oil pressure is. So I got oil pressure there. Yep, exhaust temp, which I'm gonna go into the exhaust in a little bit. So I did some modifications there. Transmission temperature, and boost pressure. That pretty much covers the gauges. I think we should probably crawl under the truck and go over a bunch of stuff that I've done under there. Right immediately as we start looking under the truck, I made this very nice little fuel filter protection box so that they're nice and protected. No one can come by and just stab them. And they're protected from rocks also. Turned out pretty nice. And I almost forgot, I got my parking brake set up. I made a nice big bracket here. Nice and solid. I got everything adjusted. Pedal goes about 2/3 of the way down, which is perfect. First main thing that I did is I pulled down the gas tank and replaced the front fuel sender because that was not reading properly. And at the same time, I redid the front fuel lines going to my tank selector switch and put a new tank selector switch in there because the other one, well, it's a common failure point. Figured, well, I might as well just put a new one in there while I'm doing all the lines. Then moving right along to here, this is my new transmission cooler. This is a 30-row stacked plate cooler. I used some HVAC return vent on the bottom here as like some rock protection, so any rocks coming up this way are going to bounce off of it and keep it protected. It's got a fan up on top. That turns on at 180 degrees and turns back off, I think, at 160. And this little brass manifold thing here has my transmission temperature sensor and my temperature switch for the fan. I do have, looks like a little leak right here on this hose clamp and that hose clamp, and I think this one too. I'm gonna have to tighten those up. Those fittings didn't really fit in the hoses super well, so yeah, anyway. So this is one of the trans lines. This is the other one. You'll notice that I completely did away with the factory lines. They are no longer. Now I know that there's an argument that the radiator actually warms up the fluid. Yeah, I know, but this thing gets just as hot, just as fast with the auxiliary cooler, so it's really, you know, whatever. I modified these adapters right here that go into the transmission case to take NPT fittings. I ran 1/2-inch hose because the fittings, basically I wanted 3/8 inner diameter all the way through. The inner diameter of some of the 1/2-inch fittings is 3/8, so that's why I went with 1/2-inch tubing. Got some heat protection right here, and it's all routed down and along the way. Now, while we're laying right here, you will notice that somebody has a new downpipe. Yeah! I know it's hard to see. Maybe I'll throw a picture in there, because I took a picture of the downpipe when I made it. But that was a whole lot of work. Entire new exhaust system, 3-inch exhaust, all the way out to the back from the turbocharger. I even modified the turbocharger to have a larger outlet on it. So I went from a 2.5-inch outlet to like a 2.8-inch outlet. So we definitely increased the size a little bit and the breathability. So that's cool in theory. A little bit more power just because it makes the engine breathe better. It's louder too, which is cool. You know, I'm young, okay? Loud things are cool. Incredibly, all of the heat shields fit on the new downpipe as well. I was able to make everything like low profile enough that all the factory heat shields pretty much fit on there. Like you saw, the downpipe and exhaust pipe is all heat shielded as well. Now, in order to get that 3-inch downpipe to fit, I had to actually cut out the firewall. Yeah, it was a big project. I still haven't put the paneling back in, but pull back the carpet here. You'll see I cut out the firewall. Yes, I used red RTV, but I couldn't find some body sealer that I could get that day. So I used high temp RTV. and it seems to have worked. The reason I used high temp, obviously, is because the exhaust is right there. It seems to work good. I don't seem to have any smoking, nothing seems to be burning. I wish I could explain how I adapted the turbo to the 3-inch downpipe. It's really complicated because it's not right in front of me. So, you know, you guys are just gonna have to take my word for it that I did some baloney bullshit and used some wood stove, like, door gasket rope stuff. Says it was good for up to like 1200 degrees. Should be fine. One last thing turbo related is I adjusted my wastegate. I made a custom linkage back there. It's hard to see. I need my stump. Need my step stump. Some people have step stools. I have a step stump. So this linkage right here, that is my wastegate rod. This is my wastegate actuator. I wanted to adjust the factory linkage. I broke it, so I made a new rod end for it, essentially. And I now have it adjusted to open at about 9 to 10 psi, which is within the safe range for these engines. You really don't want to go above 15. I could probably push it farther. I don't want to. I don't want to lift heads. I'm trying to keep this thing a reliable daily driver. With a little bit of flair. Obviously, because why else would I do a 3-inch downpipe? Because I want to and I needed something to do, obviously. This weekend I'm going to set up a windshield washer pump because when we were driving back from Nevada in the snow, my windshield got so dirty, almost couldn't see, really dangerous. So with that, that pretty much covers the update on Dashiee. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed the series. Not a whole lot of people watched it, unfortunately. I wish more people did, but that's alright. So, with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please do leave a big fat thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. If you want to follow me on Instagram, that would be great. Head over to my Discord server where there's other full-scale truck and auto enthusiasts. And support me on Patreon. Become a channel member. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will be back to our regularly scheduled RC content very shortly. Toodles!